welcome to Stage Masters Live. Today I have a very interesting tutorial about a topic that unfortunately is way too often overlooked, even by semi-pro bands and sometimes also by very established bands. The topic itself is the environment on stage, your environment, or let's say how to create your micro universe on stage, because most musicians are going to go perform their show, they're going to play their set list, they're going to entertain the crowd, but besides that, do you have your own universe? Did you manage to create something unique on stage that makes that you're recognizable just by the setting of the stage? People, when they come at your show, they're like, oh yeah, I know the band. Do you have that? If you don't, I'm going to try to help you define whether you need one or not, and if you do, how you're going to build that. I have overlooked that topic myself for many years. And actually, I recently got interested in it. It was in April 2010 when I got to play with a band called G&CO. It's a French band. I recorded an album with them, and then it was at the lounge of the city. They made a big show to promote the coming out of the album, and they had set up the stage in such a sweet way. I'm not gonna need to describe the way it was set up. It's not too important. What is important is to know that they had created that type of universe that was absolutely theirs. I'm gonna give out a few things, but there were a few tables with cloths on, some cloths, and kind of old oil lamps. There was an atmosphere, just a light with those lights. There was an atmosphere. There was a certain coziness. There were some wooden crates also that were on stage. So they had managed to create something that could make people feel cozy and closer to the band in some sort of ways. And that's something that I was really amazed about it, because I had never thought about doing something like that myself. And I thought, what an amazing idea. There were some things that I did not necessarily like, but they had managed to create that universe. It was their universe, and that was brilliant. I was amazed. The interest that you may have about creating your own universe on stage is that it will define a stronger personality for your band already. It will make you way more recognizable. People will be able to identify sometimes even to what you're doing. You know, it will talk to them. It's like, okay, that's a world I feel good in. That's when I arrive at the venue and I can see all the setup, I feel like, yeah, that's them. I like their world. I like their universe. I like what they're playing, and I want to be part of that. And this is really something special when you can create that kind of thing prior even to play. You know, just me, when I go to see a great show and I see that the stage has been set up and all that, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be great. You're looking forward to the show because there's an atmosphere. It has been created prior to even the start of the show. That's fantastic. To give you another example, for example, and it's a band that you probably can look up online. It's called Tango Heroes. If you can Google them and check the stage setup, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm not kidding. Those guys, so of course they will play tango, that's what they play. But I remember I have seen a show where it was like you were playing in your living room. So there were kind of bookshelves. There were nice, cozy sofas or armchairs. There was a bar with a bandman who was actually serving the band members while they were playing. And there was a door frame through which they were entering or leaving the stage. And to be honest, the only thing missing was a fireplace, because it was so cozy, so nice. It felt more like they were sitting to have a jam. It was a real show, but that's how it felt. I was absolutely flabbergasted. It's really brilliant. Check them out, because whether you like their music or not, it does not matter at all. But they are very inspiring in terms of setting up the stage to create a micro universe and make you feel great. I just love that. So I would say that as a band, you, or as an artist, as a singer, whatever, what you need to define first is whether you need to create this kind of micro universe, or if it's not needed, depending on what kind of band you are, what do you perform. So that's the kind of I cannot define those things for you. What I can do is to give you examples of questions you can ask yourself to check whether you need that or not, and then if you realize you do need it, how you can define what you are in order to reproduce that kind of a image you want to show to the audience through your stage setup. What kind of band are you? Are you a cover band? Are you a band with your original songs and you have your fan base? Are you a kind of band, for example, if you're a cover band, are you doing a specific type of covers, like for this only songs from the 70s or only songs from the 80s? Or if you're a cover band, do you do like a tribute cover? Are you a tribute cover band? Because if you are, for example, you may want to be dressed up the same way that the people you're actually covering. Or if, for example, you cover songs only from the 70s, you want maybe to be dressed like in the 70s and to have also a stage setup that look like if you're in the 70s. It's just examples, but define what you are as a band in order to know whether it's needed to add that touch or not. And basically, are you just performing songs, or do you have a concept behind? Do you have a show that is about something? If your thing is about, it's telling a story, maybe you can set up your stage in relation to whatever you're singing. Imagine you're a band that decides, I'm just singing love songs. Maybe you can try to set up your stage in a kind of thing that reflects those types of songs. What you need also to define is, do you want to do a band or to perform in a band just, as an amateur for fun? You just want to play in the at the bar next door once in a while. If that's the case, you won't need it. You won't need to set up your stage in any kind of ways. You just go to play your songs and you're happy, and that's basically it. But for example, if you're serious about music, and if you want to make a difference within the music industry, you may want to work on fine-tuning your personality and fine-tuning your identity as an artist and as a band, so that you can incorporate those kind of micro universe on stage. You can also decide, like, well, I don't feel like I need to have any kind of identity or any kind of stage setup, because, well, I just like to play my music and that's it. Some people prefer that. In that case, I would advise you to at least have a backdrop with the name of your band, just so that people can read that, can see this in big, and that they can just remember who you are. Because when you want to make a difference in the music industry, you need to set yourself apart. You need to be recognizable, and of course, you need to make the right choices and to make sure that whatever choice you make, it's gonna make you unforgettable. So you don't have to organize this kind of a setup for the stage, etc., to make it to make the difference. But if you do, it will pay back. It will definitely pay back, because since I got interested in that topic, I actually made some research about performers, bands who actually were able to make those specific to create those specific mini universe on stage. And those guys, boy, they are touring a lot, and maybe they are not going to be as fashionable as some commercial hits and this and that, but they are working a lot. And well, if you can be working a lot as a musician, doing what you want, and make enough money to make a good living out of that, well, what do you want to ask more? Okay, so think of it. It's just food for thought. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, just think about if you need it, if it's going to be interesting for you, if it's going to be an added value, whether you want that added value or not. But I promise you that if you decide to go for that, you won't regret it, because the few times I've actually spoken with artist bands doing that, they do not regret it. It has actually launched them way further than expected, because their fan base was actually identifying. Actually, some of those bands, they have even created merchandising around that. So it's really, really cool. Try it, really. You don't have to, but I advise you to, because it's really worth it. Okay, that was just my long tip of the day, because we're above 13 minutes soon. I hope you will try it. I hope you enjoyed that video. Of course, I cannot go very deep into the subject as I don't have a one-on-one. I'm just telling you how cool it can be, and I just want you to make the process of thinking whether you want it or not, whether it's worth it or not, and if you do, to make the proper thinking process in order to be able to create your own mini world on stage. So hope you're going to do that, or hope you're going to actually get a lot of good things out of it if you decide to go for it. And I wish you all the best luck with that. And I'll see you very soon for a new video, which I have prepared and I'm going to record about right now. See you guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.